Well, tomorrow is the first day of February, and that start of Heart Month. It's the effort from the American Heart Association to raise awareness about having a healthy heart. Gary Michel of the American Heart Association joins us live to talk about heart health and the AHA's Heart Ball. My goodness, that is hard to say. Good morning, Gary. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Gary, the American Heart Association is kicking off Heart Month with their annual Greater Charlotte Heart Ball. What makes this so special and impactful for our community?
Well, this is our 67th year of the Charlotte Heart Ball. It's the longest running black tie charity event in the city. We'll have over 800 people attending the sold out event tomorrow night, and we'll raise over $3 million for the work of the American Heart Association. The association aims to educate our families, friends, and coworkers on the importance of living healthy lifestyles and to ensuring that we have access to the highest quality and most equitable health care and finding solutions for heart disease and stroke.
And I'm sure, Gary, that you guys have so many other events going on in February. What do you have planned, and how can people get involved?
Well, there really is a lot going on this month. This Heart Month, the American Heart Association is focused on building a nation of lifesavers. We want at least one person in every household to know CPR. More than 350,000 sudden cardiac arrests happen outside of the hospital, and only 10% of those people will survive. We have to increase the number of people, including children as young as 9 years old, who know CPR and know what to do in a cardiac emergency. Also, next week, the American Heart Association holds the annual Wear Red Day on Friday, February 7th, to bring attention to women's health, women's heart health in the Go Red for Women movement. Heart health and heart disease is the #1 health threat for new moms and for women of all ages. The Heart Association will also tie its work around the congenital heart defects in children by focusing on survivor stories of CHD youth right here in Charlotte. 1 in 100 babies are born with a heart defect, but the American Heart Association is doing research to improve those odds every single day.
Yeah, that's awesome. Lots of stuff going on. Like you were saying, heart disease is our #1 killer. And what does the American Heart Association recommend that we do to protect our hearts and live a healthy life?
Well, you are correct. Heart disease is the #1 killer of men and women in the United States. And the American Heart Association is funding the critical cardiovascular research grants to find discoveries that will save our lives. The American Heart Association recommends that you know your family history, you see your doctor, and you know your numbers like blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar. And finally, to eat a healthy diet, to avoid tobacco products, including vaping and e-cigarettes, and to get plenty of exercise and sleep. If you'd like more information, you can go online at heart.org to learn more.
Great information, Gary. Is there anything else you want people to know as Heart Month gets underway?
Just understand the American Heart Association is there for us and our community to ensure that we are aware of the issues of cardiac disease as well as stroke, and are there providing grants for research to help us avoid and eliminate this cause of death in the United States.
All right, Gary, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.